for bulking centers, and that's good enough to get started with.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure our phones and, of course, our SMSs must be, our phones must be ringing. We are receiving many SMSs. People want to know, you've mentioned a certain number of constituencies.
Yeah.
They have needs in their constituencies, which you haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
How can Akili get involved there as well? How can we bring you to our home?
Very good.
Yes.
Excellent. For us to come into your place, you need to be a group that we can work with. The good thing about getting the support of your MP and the other leaders on the ground is
lobbying
so that
them, of course.
Yeah, nobody fights us on the ground. Because when you organize 10,000 people to produce, for example, a product, a politician will see, hey, this could become a threat to me. He also needs to be able to see this can become actually a help. So if you move along with your political class as we come to your place, we are happy to do that. But I would say at the moment, if you are within any of the areas that I've mentioned, the central area, the Meru area, if you are in western, in places like Mount Elgon, because we have projects near you, if you just make an inquiry, we would be able to help you organize and begin supplying products through the Akili value chain. Okay. If you are in Nairobi and you have got outlets that we can work with to get Akili products.
Out there.
Let me just give you an example. Let's say you have got a small supermarket here in Nairobi, and the challenge of going to buy things and all of that, etc., must be there. We can work with you to distribute Akili products. If you have a hotel, you can make our cheeseburgers from the cheese that is coming from the farmers out on the ground. So I think at this particular moment is you can either be a group that it produces, or you can be a logistics person who can be able to transport, move things, etc., or you can be an outlet that can be able to move our products, or you can be an investor who will invest in Akili and be part of the value addition.
And even possibly sit on the board and have to discuss the decisions and so forth.
Okay. And if you are an MP, we can work with you effectively instead of constantly your people having to ask, what are you doing? You have something to show by just simply providing CDF funding to build your bulking center for whatever produce is there. Can I give an example in Turkana? That in Turkana, the water that is drunk at Lodwar town, drinking water, it's a very hot place, comes all the way from Nyeri and from Eldoret and from Nairobi. But 70 kilometers from Lodwar town, Elia Springs is a spring that is clean. We have had that water tested. Other than little materials that are in the water that can be removed through filtration, it's good spring water. But packaging that water and pushing it into Lodwar town will generate more income than all the money they may require to do almost any other type of development there. So if you need to build schools, to build hospitals, to do whatever, just from your drinking water sold to the NGOs that are operating in Lodwar town,
who expect clean water.
Yeah, then you make enough money to stop the community having to become dependent on donor funding, which they have been dependent on since independence. So there is no place in Kenya where we cannot work.
You cannot work. You just need the goodwill of the community, them to come together.
Absolutely.
And we can transform this country.
Yes.
2011 is here.
2011.
What plans do you have?
Our major plans is to strengthen the organization of the groups that are already actively involved. There is a very active group that is growing aloe vera in Laikipia. There is the group in Turkana that is working on the water and aloe vera programs and bees projects. There is the groups in Gishogo that are dealing with ICT, with aloe vera, with milk. There are groups that want to get started that have made inquiries, and our goal is to strengthen them. Then to strengthen the partnerships of social development partners, like what we have already established with Juhudi Kilimo. We would like to do that with more people. We are discussing with a number of donor organizations to be part of the Akili project. To also perfect our products, I have had our cheese tested, and I was told that our cheese is good enough for Kenya. It is competing very well with the best cheese in Kenya in terms of taste. But because I'm an Ashoka fellow now and I'm in the Ashoka network, I have requested for assistance to get technical assistance to be able to get our cheese to compete with New Zealand cheese, which is supposed to be the best in the world, and that way we can export. You understand? So strengthening each part of our value chain is the major focus for me in 2011.
Okay. Final question. My director has warned me that our time is almost up.
Okay.
this is a big project that looks very profitable in the future, but of course for now the setting up is the issue. How are you supporting yourself?
Very fortunately, through the efforts of my work, I was nominated and then eventually elected an Ashoka Fellow.
Which is what?
Which is Ashoka is a worldwide organization that supports social entrepreneurs. Mohammed Yunus is an Ashoka Fellow. People like the Jamibora, Ingrid Monroe is an Ashoka Fellow. David Kuria of the Eco Toilets is an Ashoka Fellow. You understand what that means? I have now become an Ashoka Fellow, and my support is beginning this month. So effectively, I don't require much from communities myself, because Ashoka provides me the cushion that I need to be able to stay afloat as I now begin to work with the communities. So that came in very handy. We also have got 3 investment clubs that have invested in Akili. I think I should mention here that one of the clubs is associated with Dr. Sam Thenya, who is involved in the Nairobi Women's Hospital, which is also another very successful program in Kenya. They do both, it's a social and a private partnership, because the Gender Violence Center that Dr. Thenya runs provides support to women who could otherwise not afford to pay the bills for a hospital. Now, Dr. Thenya is the chair of Akili, of Akili, and through him and other investors that are associated with him, we've been able to keep moving. We are looking for other investors, and we need investors to invest in Akili. And it's a good thing to do.
That is your parting shot.
Right.
Final question. I'm in my constituency. I'm at home. I have, I want to change my community. How can I contact you to get ideas and so forth?
Our website, I think that's probably the best way to do it, is www.akiliholdings.co.ke. If you can put that on the screen.
Director, if you can put www.akiliholdings.co.ke.
And the email address is info@akiliholdings.co.ke. If you contact us through the web, I think is a much better way. Last time when I was here, we tried the phone
was off for 3 days.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think Kenyans are hungry now to empower themselves. For too long, we have believed that a political solution will sort our economic problems, but not always. Sometimes both need to work together for us to be successful. Thank you very much, sir. Wish you all the best. Of course, we hope to continue talking with you. Power Breakfast Show looks for inspiration. We look towards people who are transforming lives across the community. And we're glad to have you on board. For those of you who, of course, want more details for all your questions or comments, www.akiliholdings.com or info.co.ke, I beg your pardon, or info@akiliholdings.co.ke. You can get Mr. Harun Washira, and he can help you with all your needs and, of course, answer all your questions as well. Certainly hope you enjoyed today's interview, but stay tuned. Johnson Mwakazi is up next with the news.